Okay, so you've been meaning to get your estate plan done. You know that you need a will, or maybe you've been considering about a revocable living trust, but you're not sure what's right for you. You've been putting it off. Why not make 2026 the year that you finally get that off of your to-do list? Let's kick off 2026 on the right foot. Take care of a big to-do item that we know we need to do. Let's get it done. I'm Darcel Lobo. I own Dow Law Firm in Normandy Park, which is about 15 minutes south of Seattle in Washington State. Here at my office at Dow Law Firm, my primary goal with estate planning is to make it as easy as possible for you, because I understand that this is a topic that nobody wants to talk about. You don't want to have to come in and talk to a lawyer that you've never met before, tell them all about your assets, your family dynamics, and discuss what's going to happen upon your loss of capacity or upon your passing. I understand that. And so I work to make it as easy as possible for you. Now, I will say there are going to be some difficult decisions that you have to make when it comes to your estate plan, but we need to make those decisions and not have those decisions made for you by someone else who does not know you, who does not know your family. If a judge has to decide these things and follow what state law says will happen, it may not reflect what you want. And I tell my clients all the time that having a well thought out estate plan is really one of the best things that you can do for your family, for your loved ones, to have that plan in place. And I completely understand why you may have been putting off getting your estate plan done. Sometimes people feel like, well, I'm not old enough to have an estate plan. If you're over 18, you're old enough and you need an estate plan. It could be a simple one, maybe it's more complex, depending on what kind of assets you have and what you want to do with your estate plan. But if you're over 18, you need to have something in place. Also, sometimes clients think they don't have enough assets, right? They think, oh, estate planning is only for people who are really wealthy, and I'm not wealthy, so I don't need an estate plan. If you own a house, you need an estate plan. If you have investments, if you have money in the bank, right? If you have assets that you have built and you want to make sure that they go to the right people or to the right charities or whoever you want to leave it to, you need to have an estate plan. It also can just feel really overwhelming, or thoughts about the cost. And I understand that there is a cost, right, when you're hiring a lawyer to do your estate plan. But we're talking about assets that you've built over your career. This can be, if you're in your 20s, your 30s, your 50s, your 70s, right? You have spent a considerable amount of time to build and acquire the assets that you have. We want to make sure they go to the right people. And we want to make sure that we're doing so in a way that is legally binding and it's going to be enforceable and it's going to be followed. And estate planning, where we are putting that plan in place, we want to make sure that we do it right the first time. Unfortunately, I have seen a lot of do-it-yourself wills and forms have been printed online. And to be fair, I usually see them when they go wrong, right? So there's a will that wasn't completed correctly, right? And so the person may have not have even had a will at that point. And so when we're talking about your home, we're talking about your investments, we're talking about just the assets you've acquired, it is worth the investment to have an estate plan that's done properly. And if you have been putting off your estate plan and kind of kicking that down the road and procrastinating, just know that waiting and delaying to get your estate plan done doesn't make it any easier. It actually makes things more complicated and a bit messier. It's not going to change whether or not you become incapacitated. If that's going to happen, that's going to happen regardless if you have a plan in place or not. It's not going to change when you pass away. When that time comes, it's going to come whether you have a will or have a trust or don't have a plan in place at all, right? So delaying getting your estate plan done isn't going to change the inevitable for your future. And so we want to make sure that we are putting this in place and doing this now while you're able to do so. If you feel like, well, I don't need it now, so it can wait. Well, doing it when you don't need it is the time to be doing it. Waiting until you need an estate plan is too late. If you have lost capacity, you can't sign a power of attorney. You can't sign a will. You can't sign a trust. And what's going to happen in that scenario is that you're probably looking at a guardianship for yourself. And I can tell you firsthand, as an attorney who has handled many a guardianship case, guardianships are very expensive. If you think getting your estate plan done is expensive, a guardianship is 10 times, probably more than 10 times more expensive. And it's very slow. A guardianship, when you need to sell some real estate, takes multiple motions, a number of filings, and you can avoid all of that by having a simple power of attorney. And so I say all this just to stress the importance of having an estate plan, no matter how simple, no matter how complex it may need to be. You need to have a plan in place. You want to leave that for, again, your family, your loved ones, those that you want to provide for, and make sure that the assets that you've acquired are protected. It's time to get your estate plan done. Now, 2026 is January. This is a fresh start, a clean slate, the perfect time to start off the new year, getting that off of your to-do list. Or maybe for some of you, you have an estate plan. Maybe you have a will from 20 years ago, but there's been a number of life changes. You know that there's updates that are needed for your prior will. There's been a number of changes in your life. Maybe there have been, children have been married. There have been divorces. There are more kids. Maybe you have grandkids, right? Like there's been a number of changes that warrant updating your will. Maybe you've acquired more real estate. Maybe you've opened a business. Maybe your asset portfolio has, grown and appreciated, which is amazing. We want to plan for it. We want to provide for it. So if you are in the position where you have a will or a trust from a number of years ago and it needs to be updated, now is the time to do that as well. Because your estate plan should reflect what's going on currently and not what it was 20 plus years ago, because that probably is not exactly what you want at this point in time in your life. So let's make this year the year that you get your estate plan done, that you get it updated and take care of it. This should be something that's a non-negotiable for you for 2026. There's a lot of information out there for you online to learn more about it, about estate planning and what your options are. I think just here alone on my channel, I think we have over 100 videos now on topics related to estate planning and probate and trust and all kinds of real estate. And so there's a lot of content here for you, not just on my channel. There's plenty of other attorneys as well for you to kind of get more education about estate planning and what that might look like. I also, on my website, we have a blog. I've been writing this blog bi-weekly for about 6 years now. There's a lot of content there about estate planning and, again, related topics pertaining to estate planning to help you answer some of those questions, take out some of the overwhelm, and just kind of explain estate planning and for you to become more informed about what you may want or what you may need for your estate plan. I kind of have like a 5-step estate planning process at my firm. And actually, I'll make sure it's linked down below. But on my website, I have a free PDF guide that covers estate planning. It's completely free. You don't have to give me your email or sign up for an email list to get it. You just go to the website and just one click and it opens up for you, covering a number of things about estate planning, some FAQs, current pricing, what to expect. But the 5-step process at my office for estate planning is, first, we have a consultation. We can do it by phone, we can do it by Zoom, and we can do it in person at my office, whatever is more convenient for you. So that's step 1, is let's just meet and talk about what your wants and needs are. Step 2, I start drafting. We start drafting your estate plan. If it's a will plan, if it's a trust plan, we start drafting that for you. Then a few weeks later, we have your drafts ready for you to review. I have a secure online portal you can use to review the drafts online. I can mail hard copies for you if that's easier for you to review it that way. So you review those drafts, make sure that everything looks good. Once you confirm for us that everything looks great, we schedule a day and time for you to come to our office and we sign your estate plan. We provide the witness and notary at the office, so you just show up with your ID and we get everything signed and executed for you. And then the last step is my delivery of the binder to you. You can pick up your binder at my office or I can mail it to you. And your estate planning binder has all of your original documents, plus instructions for your loved ones or anyone administering your estate as far as what to do, important resources. It's a very thorough binder for you to have. You keep that in your possession. You keep all of your originals. I do not keep them. I keep copies, but not your originals. You have those in your possession. And so that 5-step process takes us through the entire estate plan for yourself to get that completed. So again, with getting your estate plan done, I think the biggest thing that I find from my clients that it really gives them peace of mind and knowing that the assets are protected, there's a plan in place, their family is protected, and the assets that they have worked hard to build and acquire over their lifetimes is going to be distributed how they want it distributed. And if there is, during their lifetime, any competency issues, that they have named someone that they know and trust to be able to make decisions for them when it comes to things like doing their banking for them, right? Paying bills for them, accessing bank accounts, and also like healthcare decisions, being able to communicate with your doctors, get access to health records, knowing that you already have those documents in place. So that if something were to happen to you and you could not make decisions for yourself, you have a plan of action as far as who is going to be in charge if that were to occur. Again, this is one of the best things and one of the best gifts you can leave to your loved ones, to your family, is to have this plan in place. So again, if 2026 is the year that you want to get this off of your to-do plate or your to-do list, get it off the plate and get that completed, reach out to our office. Contact information is listed below for you. We'd be happy to schedule a consultation to see if we can help you and then get your estate plan done for you. Again, our contact information is below. If you're looking for more information about estate planning, about probate, about real estate, make sure you subscribe. We talk about that and many more things over on this channel. So, all right, thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.